your movie is fucking crazy. Like,
It is.
I knew it was a pirate movie, but I just did not expect the ultra violence. Like, from the beginning, I was like,
Yeah.
yo. Like, I locked in immediately. I was like, first scene, I was like, holy shit. Like, this is crazy.
When you're doing it, you know it's like make believe. So it's so much fun to be like, yeah, I'm playing pirates and I'm gonna behead you. But I mean, in moments of like scenes and stuff where I actually had to think about what it must have been like to be a female at that time, or because they existed, female pirates existed, and we didn't hear much about stories about them. I mean, I heard about Grace O'Malley, maybe there were Mary Read, like a few famous ones,
Right.
Ching Shi, after I did my research. But like in those moments, you're like, this stuff must have, like, this was real. They lived at a time where it was survival of the fittest. It was barbaric.
The whole history of piracy is so fascinating. And one of the things that the movie is about is the Carl Urban character he was one of the soldiers of the East India Trading Company. Then I went on a deep dive on the East India Trading Company.
You did.
That is crazy. When you learn the history of that, one corporation is one of the first publicly traded corporations that essentially was in control of India, Pakistan, and Bangladesh, went to war with China over opium, and that's how they took over Hong Kong. You're like, holy shit. One crazy fucking corporation involved in the slave trade, the opium trade, just a corporation, a publicly traded corporation. People could buy stock in it, like one of the first ones. And it just went haywire to the point where it got so big, there was a revolt, and then the British government took over it, nationalized. The whole story is insane.
If you think about how much in their minds they were able to achieve and how much they were able to destroy in that duration is crazy if you go down history.
Changed the course of countries forever.
Human lives forever.
Forever.
Like the amount
Millions
of pillaging that happened.
Yes.
Millions and millions of lives. And this movie actually has a really interesting slice of what they were capable of doing. They utilized pirates in order to, take over new lands, right? And in their conquests. And then when piracy was abolished, they, went after them and they wanted to arrest them, and they vilified the same people that helped them build their entire empire. So this was really interesting because my character's story, her parents and her family are indentured servants, which was the truth of many, many people, especially in India, where young people were, told better opportunities, new lands, more money. Come with us and take them off as servants and then drop them in different parts of the world, in islands. And the Caribbean has a huge Indian community whose history started with just being displaced from their lands and dropped somewhere else in the world, and then having to figure out what your future looks like. I mean, it still happens to many people around the world right now, but I thought it was really interesting that my character came from that, and her entire identity was erased, taken from her. She had no idea. She was 12, so she had no idea what it meant to have that identity. And I met so many people, actually, when I went to the Cayman, who don't know anything about their family tree beyond, like, 5 generations. Or they know where their family may have come from Sri Lanka or from India or, any other nation, but have no idea what it was, where, from what village, like what was your culture. And that ambiguity in a history of a human being erases a part of you. The gravity of manipulation in human history is insane. Like even when the East India Company, and they started with trading with India too, many, many years ago. We just got
started innocent.
Yeah, completely. We're your friends. We're, allies.
Sell tea.
We're friends with all the royalty in India. There's so many royals in India, and each state had their own kings and princes, and became friends with everyone. Started with tea, started with trading tea and spices, and then just went into we got our independence in 1947, it's not even 100 years since we've got our independence. It's that recent.
Wow.
But you think about just within the last century, there were, signs which said Indians and dogs not allowed in India by the British, like within this century.
Indians and dogs.
In India.
Wow.
Isn't that crazy? Like, and this is like this is not even like, this is the head of the iceberg. There's so much more when you do a deep dive into the history of colonization, which is why this movie was also so interesting to me, because it touches on the themes of, the colonized and the story from their perspective, which is like not a lot of what we hear.
No, not at all. I mean, there's a lot of great historical elements in that. Just the pirate thing alone, the fact that most of the time in human history, when a boat showed up, there was a real fucking problem.
Yeah, and what real pirates, like we've gotten so used to, with the Disney version of and I love the Pirates of the Caribbean movies, don't get me wrong, they're so fun, but like the pirate jokes and whatever, but they were fucking brutal. They were murderers, like
horrific monsters.
Horrible life that
I
they
had
lived.
a joke about that once, like, why is it okay to be a pirate for Halloween? Like,
Why?
do you know how crazy it is for little kids?
You're a murderer rapist for Halloween.
Yeah. Oh, look at his little hook. He lost his hand raping. This is, I mean, that was what the pirates were.
True,
They were monsters. They were horrific monsters. And they would travel around the world just stealing people's stuff and killing everybody. Yeah, and that happened for thousands
And
of
helping
years.
with colonization for years.
And the fact that they were soldiers for the East India Corporation, they were actually working for them to go and take over these areas.
And the best soldiers from around the world.
Yeah, mercenaries.
The best mercenaries, murderers from around the world.
They had a larger army than most European countries.
Yeah, so wild.
A corporation.
Yeah.
And
so
it's like
wild. An army.
Yeah, essentially.
Yeah.
But started off just trading, just super innocent.
Hi, I'm your friend, and I'm here for your band. And they would be so respectful with, the former kings and queens, and it's wild, the manipulation of it.
Well, it's also wild how when you do have an obligation to your shareholders and you do have this mandate to just constantly make more money, the morals go out the window. And next thing you know, East India Corporation's involved in slavery. They're
they used
involved
to
in
call
opium
it
trade.
divide and conquer, where they would get all the princes of each state like to fight amongst each other. So instead of India being collective and together, she was like divided between everyone fighting for each other so they could take over. It's like mental games.